Issues or items not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Someone's been waiting here.
Actually, I brought some photographs for you guys.
Okay, Sherry can
pass it around. So this is actually a picture from the airport last night, and one of the things that's been addressed through the years is lack of a ramp space. And if you look at these pictures, that was before all the aircraft arrived for the game last night. There were 8 more scheduled to come in after that picture was taken, and the ramp was 100% full. The reason that picture is so important is Hetrick's staff is the one that was is in charge of making sure they're parked, moving them around, doing all the legwork. They had extra staff on duty and things like that. It comes to, there's been no growth. There's looking at a second FBO. A lot of things going on at the airport that just don't make sense. And so the biggest one is you guys and I've been looking at breaking the contract with Hetrick, renegotiating, changing how they do things. The city has a big plan coming into effect where they're changing the policy and operations at the airport. They're taking basically a plan similar, like almost identical to what Salina has, which is a completely different class of airport, an incredibly different amount of businesses there, activity there. They have a college there. The K-State flight school is based out of there, where they teach ATP, commercial pilots, all of that is based there. They have a big acronym, and we're trying to apply that to the Lawrence Airport. Some of the stuff is like people not allowed to, like with all these jets, have somebody pull up and load the guests and take off. They have to be escorted from the plane to the terminal and then leave, which is going to disrupt how the airport has operated for generations. The other part is, if Hetrick is not going to be doing that, or if we try to have a second FBO, how are 2 different FBOs going to work out parking on that ramp? We only have 1 ramp, and it's not very big. So they're going to have to coordinate how they do this, and I think there needs to be a lot more planning there. A lot of things that have happened behind the scenes, there was no advanced planning for it. When the city put the Lifestar hangar up for sale, nobody had a plan for where they were going to put Lifestar. The community would have lost the emergency helicopter operation. After the city went through there, it was decided not to sell the hangar. That staff may have made a mistake on there. At the same time that they put that hangar up for sale, they also had an appraisal to sell the community hangar. Lawrence has very little space anyway, so why are we selling the community hangar? Well, it was to benefit one person, and it was also appraised again 3 years later with that person's name on the appraisal for potential sale to an individual, not for public sale, but to an individual. And I think going forward, the city needs to have a strategic plan for the airport. They need to have a plan. What's the airport manager going to do? We're looking for a new manager. We have so much development that's been passed on our airport. We've had over $50 million worth of potential plans given to the city, and not a single one has moved forward. Not one. The latest one, or the one that was basically, he was treated like an unwanted stepchild, finally gave up. They're building a $35 million project at the Kansas City New Century Airport. That is the exact operation that was supposed to be at our airport. He didn't ask for any contingencies from the city.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Other public comment?
Hello. It's really late. Thanks for having me this late. I'm going to go really fast. Ultimately, I plan on being here every single week to discuss one specific issue. I decided not to discuss that last week, mainly because there were a lot of other people who live within our community that are more outspoken with more immediate needs. However, I do believe that we need to have a plan in place for when we have the federal government come in here and start deporting people against their will. We have the Leavenworth facility that is currently in negotiations with the courts to gain legitimacy to start being a detention center again. It was, I think, 6 years ago a detention center, and then they stopped being a detention center, and now they're coming back against the wishes of Kansas City. People got up and said, we don't want this. They voted it down, and now they're going to court over it for the same thing. We have the World Cup coming here. We already know that the federal government has used ICE internationally for security measures, completely against its own statement. It is going to come here, and we need to be prepared for it. I think that the preparations that we have set up is not quite to the extent that it needs to be, and I think that we need to have better direction for our police officers to basically stand on the right side of the community here, basically protecting Lawrencians going forward. I would like to see more vocal statements on that. I'm not really getting there, but again, I will continue to be a voice making the statement until I see what I think needs to be done. That said, since I still have about a minute left, last week we were talking about, we had a large group from the homeless community come in, basically saying, please treat us like people. It's important that we actually do treat them like people. I know that a number of the people that are now on this board were elected saying that they were going to do something to lower housing costs within Lawrence. And I know that one of the main things that you guys were discussing last week was specifically a housing project for low-income housing in the Bob Billings K-10 area. That's great, wonderful. We need another 12 of those. I would love to see my housing price. I would love you, as the city council, to make my house depreciate in value because we've built so much housing. That's how you get, or that's one of the three prongs that needs to be done for the homeless community. Lower housing costs, lower the price of housing, maintain more additional mental health facilities for those who need them, make sure that there are more community outreach programs. Thank you.
Thank you. No other members here. How about online?
Yes. Julie Jones.
You're muted. Just find them. There you go.
Oh.
Nope. Nope. Every other week you've got this going. Nope, we still can't hear you. You're unmuted, but we can't hear you. Okay. Next week. Thank you. Any others?
Sorry.
What?
That's all the comments.
That was it.
The only one. I'm sorry.
Okay. Look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Courtney, second by Commissioner Pulliam. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Have a good night, everyone. As well.
Pretty amazing.